everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Too Faced Christmas Around the World makeup set. If you do want to see a review and a demo, then please keep watching. As a huge favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything down below. I greatly appreciate it. I read all the comments and I will do my best to reply back. This set retails for $49 at Ulta Beauty, Too Faced online, and it's also available at Macy's. I do want to read a little bit about this set on Ulta's website. That's where I purchased mine. Bring joy to the world with the Too Faced Christmas Around the World collection, featuring 3 different cities for the ultimate look. Each palette contains 8 multi-finish eyeshadows, a blush or highlighter, and 1 travel size Better Than Sex mascara. Here's a closer look at what the packaging looks like. It says Too Faced. Down here at the bottom it says Christmas Around the World limited edition makeup collection. I love the details on the packaging. You have the little koala bear here, you have the little puppy down at the bottom, and then you have the little ornaments. Super cute detailing. And then when you flip it over on the back, it shows you what's included. You get a mascara and 3 little breakaway palettes. At the very top of the packaging there's nothing, and then down at the bottom you have the barcode. On the sides here, it's a continuation of the design. Let's go ahead and open this up. Here's a little peek on what's inside. So the first thing I see is the mascara, and then we have 1 palette. Here's the other palette. And here's the last one. Here's a closer look on what the mascara tube looks like. It says Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And then when you turn it over, you get 4.8 grams of product, or 0.17 ounces. And this has a 6-month shelf life. And it does state that this mascara was made in Italy. I've already applied this mascara on my eyes. Well, not this particular tube, but I did also review a different set. Here's a closer look on what the wand looks like. I just finished reviewing the Too Faced Christmas in London makeup set, so definitely stay tuned. Included in that set was that same exact mascara, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I already applied the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my eyes. Here's what it looks like. Now let's move on to the 3 makeup palettes that are included. The first makeup palette is called Christmas in Rio. I love the packaging. Look at the details. So cute. On the back it says Too Faced, and then it says Christmas in Rio. Let's open this up. It doesn't come with a mirror, but look at the details. The only reason why I purchased this set was because of the blushes. Look how beautiful that blush shade is. I wasn't really interested in the eyeshadows, but let's see what this shade looks like. The blush shade is called Amazon Angel. Very soft in the pan. Here's what that looks like. Here's what the shade in Amazon Angel looks like. Taking a clean blush brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade in Amazon Angel, apply it to the cheek. Let's see if we can build it up. That's such a beautiful blush shade. I'm getting a fruity scent from this palette. It smells really good. On the back of the packaging, it says that the Christmas in Rio palette smells like papaya. Maybe that's what I'm getting. It smells really good. Now let's swatch the 8 eyeshadow shades in this palette. The first shade is called Papaya Noel. So soft in the pan. The next shade is called Sugarloaf Mountain. Another soft shade. The next shade is called Her Name is Rio. Another super soft shade. The next shade is called Coco Cabana. This shade was a little bit patchy. I'm gonna go over it. Much better. The next shade is called Bossa Nova Noel. The next shade is called Feliz Natal. That shade is a little bit light, so I'm going to go over it with a second layer. There we go. The next shade is called Samba DY to Love. That's a beautiful shade. I'm just gonna go over it. The last shade is called Christmas Carnival. Here's what all 9 shades look like in the Christmas in Rio makeup palette. I did want to point out on the back of the palette, it does state that the bulk was made in the USA and it was assembled in the Dominican Republic. Just if you were curious on where these eyeshadow palettes were made, this palette is super cute. I think this will be great for every day. The next palette is called Christmas in New York. Again, the details on the packaging is so pretty. Here's what the back looks like. It says Too Faced and then Christmas in New York. And again, on the back it says bulk is made in the USA and assembled in the Dominican Republic. So let's see what this looks like. Again, really pretty details on the inside as well. Wow, that blush is so bright pink. Let's see what the blush shade in Park Avenue Princess looks like. Here's what Park Avenue Princess looks like. It's a little bit bright. Taking a clean blush brush, we're gonna dip into the shade in Park Avenue Princess. Let's see what this looks like. This shade in Park Avenue Princess has a little bit of highlight in it. I prefer matte blushes. I don't like blushes with a sheen because I'm already super oily. I don't really like this blush shade, but let's see if we can build it up. It's definitely buildable as well. I'm gonna tone down the blush shade with my makeup sponge. There we go, much better. The first shade in the eyeshadow palette is called Pink Christmas. Again, very soft in the pan. Here's what Pink Christmas looks like. I'm gonna go over it with a second layer. There we go, that's much better. The next shade is called Upper East Elf. The next shade is called NYE and NYC. Wow, that shimmer is stunning. I'm gonna go over it. The next shade is called xoxo. The next shade is called Eggnogging. That's so pretty. The next shade is called Grand Central Slation. I like the play on words, it's super cute. The next shade is called Ice Skate in the Park. The last shade is called Rocket and Roll. Here's what all 9 shades look like in the Christmas in New York set. With the Christmas in New York makeup set, I did have to go over some of the swatches a couple of times, and the blush shade in this palette was not my favorite. The last makeup palette is called Christmas in Sydney. Here's a closer look at the details on this packaging, so pretty. And again, here's what the back looks like. The koala bear on this packaging is super cute. Let's see what the inside looks like. Again, the details are so pretty, and here's what the 8 eyeshadows look like and the blush shade. The blush in this palette is called All G Days. I think this might be a highlighter. Yeah, this is a highlighter. It's not a blush. That highlighter is super pigmented. Taking a highlighter brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade in All G Days. I'll apply it on this side. Wow. Wow, that is super pigmented. You don't need a lot of product. A little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna do a little bit more on this side. Look at that. I'm gonna blend this out. I tried to soften the highlight as best as I could. It's super blinding, you don't need a lot of product. Now let's watch the eyeshadow shades in the palette. The first shade is called Santa's in Sydney. The next shade is called Koala Cuddles. The next shade is called Sandy Claus. That's beautiful. The next shade is called Aussie Posy. Again, very pigmented. The first shade in the last row is called Opera House Party. Wow, that shimmer is stunning. The next shade is called Fairy Bread. Again, very pigmented. The second to last shade is called Kangaroo Boo. Wow, that's super pigmented. The last shade is called Greater Barrier Reef. Wow, again, very pigmented. Here's what all 9 shades look like in this makeup set. Here's what all 3 palettes look like side by side. My favorite palette in the set is a Christmas in Cindy, but I really did like the blush shade in the Christmas in Rio set. Here's what the blushes look like side by side. I do want to swatch it on the back of my hand so I can show you that as well. Here's what Park Avenue Princess looks like. Here we have Amazon Angel. I'll also swatch the highlighter. Here's what the highlighter looks like. Here's what both of the blushes look like and the highlighter. The highlighter shade is super pigmented. Again, you don't need a lot of product. It really wowed me out of this entire collection. Now I'm gonna create a look using both of these palettes. Taking a clean fluffy brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade in Feliz Natal. Apply this all over the crease. Going back and forth using windshield wiper motions. That shade blended out really nicely. Taking a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Somebody to Love. Apply this right below the first shade, but just applying this in my outer V, going back and forth using windshield wiper motions. These shadows are super pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product. A little bit goes a very long way. Taking a flat brush, I'm going to dip into the shadow in Opera House Party, packing this on my outer V and a little bit on the lid. That shadow is stunning. Doing the same thing for this side. Using that same brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Aussie Posy, applying this shade in the center of the lid, blending in those 2 shadows. Swapping my brush for a clean flat brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Sandy Claus. Apply this in the inner portion of the eye to brighten up the look. Wow, that's super pretty. Taking a clean flat brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Kangaroo Boo. Apply this in the center of my lid for a little bit of brightness. That's just the shade we need to brighten up the look. Going back in with the shade in Aussie Posy, stamping the shadow a little bit on my outer V for a little bit of depth. Going back into the first shadow in Feliz Natal. Going back and forth in the crease with that shadow because I think we lost some of it. Swapping my brush for a pointed pencil brush, and I dip into the shade in Sugarloaf Mountain. Apply this in the very inner corner of my eye. Like I said, you don't need a lot of product. A little bit goes a very long way. For mascara, I'm going to apply the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. For lips, I'm going to apply the shade in Taupe from MAC. I'm going to apply a little bit more of the blush shade in Amazon Angel on my cheeks. Here's what everything looks like. Overall, my final thoughts on the Christmas Around the World makeup set is that I really do like these palettes. My favorite palette was, of course, the Christmas in Cindy. I love the shades in this eyeshadow palette, plus it swatched really nicely. The Christmas in New York palette was my least favorite. I did not like the blush shade in Park Avenue Princess. It was too bright for my liking. Plus, I did not like the shimmer in the blush. The eyeshadows were just meh, in my opinion. A lot of people are gonna get use out of the Christmas in Rio palette. It's got a lot of warm tone shadows, great for everyday. And I love the blush shade in Amazon Angel. It's such a beautiful matte shade. For $49, you're getting 3 palettes and a mascara. I definitely think these palettes are great for travel as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.